Hello, this is Superintendent of Schools Tim Piwowar, and welcome to the final part of our four-part video series as we return to school in fall of 2021. In this video, I'll be speaking about COVID testing in schools. Once again, we'll be providing multiple forms of COVID testing for the upcoming school year, and they fall into two categories. The first are now known as routine COVID safety checks, which are done weekly as part of general surveillance testing and are formally known as pool testing. The second kind are rapid antigen tests, the brand name we're using is Binax now, and they're used for either students who develop symptoms in school that we talked about in video 1, or for the new test and stay protocol for close contacts that we talked about in video 3. Any kind of testing can only be done with the active consent of families or staff. The district is creating opt-in forms that will be sent at the beginning of the year to families, and those forms indicate which tests families consent to. Any families that opt into any form of testing must sign a legal consent form provided by the state, where one form applies to all three forms of testing. For routine COVID safety checks, students or staff participating in them will be tested weekly. Each of 2 schools will be tested each day, generally Monday through Thursday. Individuals, like we did last spring, will self-swab, but the difference this year is that 2 swabs will be collected for each person. The first swab will be used as part of a pool for testing and combined for one test for 5 to 10 people. And the second swab will be held for individual testing if it's necessary. Like last year, if a pool test comes back negative, all individuals are presumed negative and should remain in school. The change with the double swab technique is that if a pool is positive, all individuals will have their second swab tested at the lab. Any individual that's identified as positive on their second sample will be notified and should follow Protocol A that we talked about in video 1 for positive individuals. Any individual identified as negative on their second samples would remain in school as typical. With the double swab, there is no need for follow-up rapid antigen testing in schools. This allows us to streamline the routine COVID safety check process and keep students in school and in their classrooms as much as possible. Rapid antigen tests use a nasal swab and produce results in approximately 15 minutes. As a reminder, these tests are used for either symptomatic individuals in school or as part of the test and stay protocol. If a rapid antigen test is positive, the individual is sent home, presumed positive, but should follow up with a PCR test to confirm. If a rapid antigen test is negative, the individual is presumed negative and should follow the appropriate protocol, whether that's test and stay or for symptomatic individuals in school. This concludes the final video in our 4-part series. I wish you all a great start to the school year and have a wonderful day.